20 horse field, traffic jam. I guess the key word at Churchill Downs is speed, because you're going to need speed coming out of the 20 horse gate to get in the lead and not get caught up in the traffic. But the fine issue is, how much speed do you expend at the starter's gate to try to pull away from the field? Do you need that speed early, or do you need that speed late when the field starts to tire and comes back to you? Going to be interesting. The favorite is going to start way out on the outside. Forte starts 15th. That's great because you're not in that conundrum where you get trampled on, you get a lot of dirt in your face and all that whole crunch inside. But you're at 15, you may have to expend speed to try to get to the corner and get the lead. Or you stay outside for a while, you run a little bit longer, but you just stay out of the traffic jam. Angel, the Empire, will start right inside of Forte at 14. Same storyline. Forte's won 5 in a row, has won 6 of last 7 races. Pretty impressive run. One other horse is going to start in the mix up and inside, and that's going to be, I think, is going to be a huge challenge to see what Tappet Twice does. Tappet is going to start 5th post position, and there's an awful lot of stuff in terms of banging, dirt, hooves, legs that get kicked, starting inside at 5. Can Tappet survive the traffic jam early, or does Tappet have to use speed to get out of the gate and run away from that pack? So it's going to be a great race. The Derby, a slice of Americana, the beginning of the Triple Crown. And right now, the Derby is the race. Triple Crown has lost a lot of its luster. You get horses who run, who get fatigued and won't come back for the Preakness and Pimlico. Others who get nicked up and get hurt or get sick. And by the time we get to the third jewel, Belmont Stakes, they're running fields of 9 or 10 horses.
Yeah.
And I don't think horse racing has really been able to address that, because you got to win the first one to be a true Triple Crown winner. And there's an awful lot of money if there is a Triple Crown winner in terms of breeding when the horse retires. But Churchill Downs, my goodness, my old Kentucky home. What a cool event.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever been there to the race? I mean, that'd be a bucket list opportunity to go to that game, or excuse me, that race. Pardon me. But we were talking about this before when it came to the Belmont Stakes, that a lot of those horses, you know, from that had won the previous races weren't there for the third race. So you're right, it has lost a lot of its luster. But it makes you kind of wonder, you compare eras, and we always try to do that with basketball players and who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron. But what about the horses of today versus like Secretariat? I mean, there's no one that's ever going to come close to that, right?
I think breeding has now brought us more great horses in terms of numbers. Secretariat, Affirmed, Aladar. I mean, those were great horses. Spectacular Bid, etc. But I think there's more great horses now in the fields rather than just the unique superstar of years gone by. I think the other, maybe this is an asterisk next to the conversation, the other thing that's happened in horse racing is we now have the Breeders' Cup Classic at the end of the year in November. And there's enormous money in that, which whatever event you run, Breeders' Cup Mile, the Turf, the Juvenile, whatever. And I think some of the owners say, okay, my horse isn't ready, can't go in the second race of the Triple Crown or the Belmont. We'll just save it for November, let the horse rest, train it up, and get it ready for the Breeders' Cup, because that's another venue. So the Breeders' Cup has probably come into this equation as to why races 2 and 3 in the Triple Crown have lost their luster.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe just for the trainers, for the owners, it's all about the money, right? So they don't really care so much about the Triple Crown and the legacy. They just want to cash in.
Yeah. On we go.